Welcome to the Hermitcraft recap. My name is Pixelriffs, our writer is SloyXP, captions on this video were provided by Liara, and it's really weird to be making a recap video about a server that's been already pronounced ending. Still, there's much to do with the Season 10 world, not the least of which is show it to your friends, which is why the big minigame blowout on September 20th has been expanded with some guest stars. You can see the full list the Hermitcraft subreddit assembled on your screens right now, and giggle with us about how Impulse SV is bringing JoJo Solos back to troubleshoot his second season of Metro Mayhem, because the first beating it took from her clearly wasn't enough. Or how Rendog invited Mythical Sausage, so their streams will just be many hours of innuendo.
For now, I would like to breed a few more of these space rats and start to distribute them across. Without space rats, there is no Gigacorp colony vibes.
Contrary to this, the Hermits have already announced that there will be no new members coming to Season 11, whenever that is. So that's one more proof that we're not in it. Stop asking. In the meantime, here on September 14th, it's time to take a look at all the events and mishaps that occurred on the Hermitcraft server this week.
Wait. That's a mighty fine high step in there.
Starting with Corrales, who's been farming snowballs this entire time, apparently. We leave it to the keen viewer to calculate exactly how many blocks of snow he would have created in the 1,224 hours between his last two videos. Bonus points if you can account for the time spent mending the shovel. The irony is he really should have placed some of those snow blocks before trying to build a redstone lamp daisy chain, because the lamps melted the snow almost immediately and the contraption almost sunk into the lake.
Yeah, doing this on ice? No bueno. This would work, but it won't, because it does melt all the snow.
Clearly thinking about signaling for help, Corrales then builds a communication tower for his deep cold research station, complete with a satellite big enough to catch 300 channels. But all it catches instead is an XB Crafted, who admittedly does rescue him from out of the Arctic and into the warm embrace of the Metro Mayhem minigame. Having claimed 2 championship trophies from the single-player Gasket Ball competition, XB has been taking it easy through Metro Mayhem.
I'm not a hardcore gamer.
No,
I'm a gamer, but not a hardcore gamer.
I'm MLG.
He didn't swap hints with anyone during Season 1, so that at least makes the competition between him and Corrales a little more fair. But since Corrales has never seen the course before, XB still acts as both rival and coach for Papa K, manages to stay ahead of him despite dying twice, and free cams back to remind him that even the most professional gamers have to remember to look up once in a while. They get points from us for racing side by side and somehow not breaking the course in the process, although we're not sure how that's affected the wind charge and pizza supplier, both of which are Impulse SV.
Huge shout out to Impulse. This is one of the most fun things I've played this season, or any season.
Better
Besides
than all the
Decked Out.
gambling stuff?
No.
Now, a minigame that did not need restocking is Gasket Ball, but you better bet that Cubfan135 did it anyway. We are now in Gasket Ball 2. 2 Ghast, 2 Ball. That is a joke, there are much more Ghasts than just 2. The one difference from the previous version is that all the Ghasts have had their home positions reassigned, so that the spots they're trying to stick by are actually evenly spread across the arena.
Above these orange blocks are where each ghast will basically consider its home. They'll stay around that central point in a 32 block radius around that point.
They also got all renamed in the process to share a moniker with stars of basketball proper, once again driving home the idea that players are actually the ball and the ghasts are the actual players. The other difference is that the game got too easy, actually. Yes, seriously, with the jump boost and feather falling effects, Cubfine scoring 3-pointers has gotten a little bit trivial. His solution?
So here it is, the 4-point play, characterized by some orange. You might notice if you look down, this goal is significantly harder than every other goal.
Add a 4-pointer gate to the game, which is even higher and more difficult to get into, as Skizzleman demonstrates by being one of the first in the queue when the court reopens for business. He placed 3rd in the previous season's score attack contest, so he has a reputation to defend at this point.
Incredible! A 4-point play!
And he's been practicing his triangle defense by preparing the pyramid for new invaders. Not only is Impulse SV going to run the gauntlet at some stage, but there's a chance his guest on the Servitor stream will be thrown into the pyramid, so he considers being kinder and putting in some checkpoint beds.
I needed people to feel it as a one-time shot, but for the sake of fun, I'll put beds in.
He's probably learned that from Metro Mayhem, because while he's been killing it in Season 2, it's also been killing him. After a few off-camera attempts, he does his best to show us how he's improved, and his new best time is closing in on 15 stacks. Another contender in all the gasket ball action is Joe Hills, who goes head-to-head with the other Hermits in the previous season's 1v1 tournament, barely missing out on a trophy, but still having the good sportsmanship to stay around for the awards ceremony. I suppose the other option is walking outside and confronting the demonic creature Cleo has built in their own backyard, but the group does that anyway.
I've kind of assumed that this monster is like an evil monster, but it could also be a good monster. Like, we don't know for sure it's evil, right?
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean,
like
I
he could
mean,
be coming
he's
up to
going
team up
destroy
with
the
Mothra.
town.
A much more peaceful diorama greets Joe on the nether roof as he returns to his scale model of the Holmdel campus and works on modeling the elements that have been added recently, including a 1/8 scale model of the Sal statue, which is, of course, a salmon head on a block. Joe even manages to render Azuma's pixel art drawings in carpet scale and creates miniature versions of the Welcome Center and the various outbuildings, one of which even includes a scale map of the overworld Holmdel, so if you can just imagine we've edited in the Inception soundtrack here, that'd be great. Jevin, in the meantime, rushes to complete the overworld of his base, which is quite the task, given it's a castle.
Just a quick recap. So we've gotten the entrance done. We've gotten our big storage room, pathways, king's room, library, villager accommodations, pathways, and we've done the horse stables.
Still, with only a few of the interiors left unfurnished, Jevin compiles them into a single video in which he details every block of the keep and leaves no wall un-armor-standed. Luckily, there's the tool rack setting in the armor stand manipulation mod, so there's a generous use of that. And surely the villagers will appreciate the castle kitchen, specifically how it's not the same room as the potion laboratory, because, you know, poisons and stuff.
This is the worker area. I'm going to have villagers and things walking around my castle. And so this is an area for the villagers that have these workstations.
But as buildings are generally things that have an outside to them, there's still the exterior walls that were largely left undecorated, so we can count on a couple more Jevin videos before fans can download the thing and roleplay Dark Souls in it. And really, you can't go wrong with Blackstone on Deep Slate, can you?
We just completed an interior castle. That's crazy.
And finally, there's Rendog, who has been rewilding what was already pretty wild. Most of the time he wasn't on Past Life in the last few weeks, he's been expanding the tree population at his Gigacorp space base, because the space rats had them significantly outnumbered before this. Ren also announces that Season 10 will see the end of his Gigacorp theme, as he plans to explore new ideas and build styles in upcoming seasons.
I'm going to be closing the door on Gigacorp. I'd like to start trying to do some other stuff. New lore. I am more than happy to leave the legacy of Gigacorp here in Season 10. It has been an absolute pleasure.
But to give it a formal send-off, he tours his wing of the server's fan art gallery, where community renderings of his astronaut persona really set the tone for how deep the world building goes. His next build in the HC-10 colony is going to be a power plant, but unfortunately it means taking down a plant of another kind, the huge spore blossom tucked behind Good Times with Scar's ear.
There have been some shenanigans. Always shenanigans available in my base, apparently.
And that's about it for this week's recap. Our writer is SloyXP and my name is Pixel Riffs. Captions on this video were provided by Liara. Don't forget to leave a like while you're still here and subscribe so you won't miss future recaps. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.